Hello, everyone. Welcome if you are new to the channel, and welcome back if you love me. I love you too. We're here for a truth key reading. We talk a lot about keys here on the channel. They come up in the messages often, and sometimes the truth finds you at just the right time and it opens doors. So that is the intention of the truth key readings. I've selected a few decks for it. There will be timestamps, so you can skip through Pineapple Charming if you'd like. You could skip through the shuffle. I will have a timestamp on when the reading starts, and I will have a timestamp on when the guidance starts. So you guys will be able to catch that after the live is done. Just give me a couple minutes to do that, because sometimes the YouTube timer does its thing and I got to adjust for it. So the decks that I've chosen today for our truth key spread are the Psychic Tarot of the Heart deck, our Mystical Manga Tarot, my Energy Alignment deck, all right, and for guidance, we're doing the Crystal Mandala Oracle, okay, and we're going to see what kind of message comes out for you guys. We are going to start with Pineapple Charming. So if you are not familiar with Pineapple Charming, he is my fluffy synchronicity discernment pineapple. Hey, Christina, how you doing? He is a synchronicity pineapple. He's got thousands of charms in him. And sometimes the charms have messages in and of themselves, but they are to help you discern. Not every message is for everybody, especially here on social media when we do, general readings. So if you're guided to the reading, you're guided to the reading. Watch it. If you want to skip through the charms, you'll be able to do that in the replay. But for those of you who need the extra confirmation that this is in fact a message for you, hey Risa, welcome back. Then this will help you discern. Okay, this will help you discern. So we're gonna see what kind of charms we get with Mr. Charming. Ooh. All right. Ooh, going in again. All right. Thank you, Charming. It's always a pleasure. All right. So, charms that we have. We have a Ferris wheel. All right, so you may be getting Ferris wheel synchronicities, carnival synchronicities. You may have a carnival in town right now. We also have one of our doggo charms. So you may have a doggo. Could be concerning somebody that does. We've also got a palm tree by the beach. So palm trees could be synchronistic right now. You could be catching them a lot. You could live in a place where they're prevalent. Or it could be like the state symbol, like South Carolina, right? We have our lovely rainbow charm. So you may be coming out of a storm, which is always nice to feel like the storm is behind us and we're in that rainbow phase. I've also got a volleyball. All right, so volleyball may be synchronistic for you. It might be a sport that you've played. You may be down the shore playing volleyball on the beach. We've got a couple of our liquor bottle charms. We've got rum, specifically Malibu rum and vodka. Okay. Hi, Nightfall Waves. How you doing? Welcome back. So rum and vodka may be synchronistic to you or someone the reading concerns. We also have our Canadian flag charm. So you may be in Canada or from there. We've also got our lucky charms. So you may be feeling extra lucky, or maybe you asked for a synchronicity specifically towards luck, like 4-leaf clovers or something like that, even though rainbows themselves are also rather lucky if you catch them. So rainbow synchronicities. We also have a hunting knife. All right. So you may be out in the woods, or it could mean something to someone who the reading is about. We've got deer as well. All right, deer synchronicities. We've got one of our seashell charms. It's black and white. We've got the star card. and the moon card. Okay, so the star and the moon, it's a special nod to Piscean energy and Aquarian energy. Could also be Uranus and Cancer. Okay, but the star and the moon too, in general, with them being major arcana and coming out in the charms, this could be healing through an illusion of some kind, you know, taking the rose-colored glasses off or the blinders off and actually seeing something for what it is. Hi, Cynthia. Nice to see you. We also have our unicorn charm. This one specifically is also black and white. So black and white could be a synchronicity in and of itself. We've got our purple heart charm. All right, purple hearts could be a synchronicity for you. It might be one of those things where you always put purple hearts when you talk to people and text them and stuff. I personally love purple hearts. We've also got our angel guitar. That showed up earlier this week, so that might be a synchronicity for you. We have our tree charm, which also came back. It came out with the Divine Rebel personal read. So this could be synchronistic for any of my Divine Rebels, but in general, if trees are synchronistic for you. We've also got thread and bowling, as well as one of our chained heart charms. There are 6 of them in Pineapple Charming, all different colors. This one is silver. So it's feminine energy, doesn't have to be female, but feminine energy dominant. And it's red, which is like it's a romantic color or a true love color. So you may be or resonate to being in feminine energy and feel like your heart is trapped in some which way, shape, or form to a love connection specifically. Doesn't mean it's toxic. It's not like a catalytic kind of toxic energy, because there are black ones for that, black hearts. But it is definitely someone that you may be romantically involved with, that you still have ties to or psychically connected to in a way that no longer feels good. Okay. Hey, Lorraine, how are you? We also have a Joker card from my micro playing cards, and the Joker is the Fool. In Tarot, it's its equivalent. It is also Uranian energy. So Uranus and Taurus with Mars might be doing a number on your week if you are catching this in real time. But your Uranus placement may be significant in general. All right. As far as signs go, we've got double Gemini. Okay, so Gemini could be in your big 3. You may have a significant placement there, like Jupiter or Uranus. You could have double Gemini placements. We also have Cancer and Aquarius. So doubling down on the Cancerian and Aquarian energy that came out in the other charms. For letters, the letters have colors, and you guys can take them as they resonate with you. They're super specific with the colors for some people because they need it super specific like that. But don't get hung up on the colors, okay? Pink is for girls and blue is for boys. It doesn't matter to me how you resonate, as long as it makes sense to you. White is yang and black is yin, okay? But we've got a pink N, a blue Z, and a blue V. And when I saw them, I immediately thought Verizon. Because Verizon is VZN, right? So you may have Verizon as your carrier. But VZ and N are the numbers or the letters that came out. So NZ could also be like New Zealand. And V could be Nevada. So take the charms and the letters as they resonate, okay? They don't have to be initials. They could be places where you live and stuff like that. All right, so that does it for the charms. And we are going to get into the shuffle. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with my Truth Key readings, this is a reading spread that I've never seen it in any book. It was something that was angelically guided to me by Archangel Michael years ago. And on occasion, he guides me to go live and use it for those who need it when they are meant to find it. So the spread is set up like a key. It looks like a key. All right. Just woke up and now you're here. Nice. Nice. Yeah, Uranus is a part of my stellium. I have Sag stellium and I got Uranus in there. All right. So let's see. Spirit, please. What do they need to know at this beautiful divine time? What's the truth? Now, the truth key is going to talk about where you are now, what energy is behind you, what energy is working in your favor, and what energy is below you or beneath the surface that may or may not be working in your favor. Okay, that could be working against you. And then we have a trajectory of near future to more distant future and why the outcome is the way it is. So you have to understand with tarot, these cards are going to tell you what the potential path looks like based on the energy that you're in. You have control over your energy, which means ultimately you have control over the outcome. If you don't like the outcome, you can change your energy, your perspective, your belief system, and change the outcome. All right. You were never locked into an outcome because the tarot card said so. All right. Never locked into an outcome because the tarot said so. We're going to get an idea of where everything is. All right. So Spirit, please. Where are we with this truth key? You guys got the Hierophant out in the center. What else? Oh, I'm being told to cut. Okay. Wow, we got a lot of major arcana. A lot of major arcana. All right. The only other suits out here are cups and wands. Bottom of the deck is the Seven of Cups, daydreams and decisions. Top of the deck is the Nine of Wands, rest and reconsider. Let's see what the Mystical Manga Tarot has to add to these energies. I got a feeling this is about to go deep, y'all. I got a feeling it's about to go deep. All right. Let's see. Okay. There's that moon coming out again. The star is out again. All right. Bottom of the deck is the Tower. There's Mars. And the Emperor. That's Aryan energy. And then the last deck we're going to get into is the energy alignment. So where are we at right now? Where are we at right now? What's underneath the surface? Okay. I also got what's behind us and what's above. Clarify the energy moving forward. And the outcome energy. And why. Okay. Bottom of the deck is insecure. Top of the deck is determined. Oh, that's an interesting combination. This reading could be about you. It could be about someone that you are in connection with or curious about. All right. And we're going to start the reading. Timestamps in. Okay. firstly, where you are. We've got the Hierophant with the Four of Coins and Addict. Mind you, this is a truth key reading, guys. Okay. Not everybody wants to hear the truth, but I promise if you are willing to listen and be open-minded, it will serve you well. Okay. We have the Hierophant card with the Four of Coins and the Shadow Addict, which means we are working on our creative ability, our ability to create the life we want. When the Addict card comes out, we're addicted to a certain cycle, a shadow cycle, which means we've been repeating it. Okay. And we are holding on to the teacher role. We are holding on to the teacher role. I said it, I think, in a reading or two ago. I said, healthy people, like high alignment people, don't need to be saved. So if you feel the need to teach or guide someone in particular, you may be repeating a cycle of, Spirit's giving me the word superiority, but I know y'all don't like that word. Being more advanced or ahead of someone, especially if you feel you are more emotionally intelligent than them. If you are more financially better off than them. If you are more intelligently better off than them, right? This need to take in a student, quote unquote, a student under your wings. So this may be where you are, that you need to be aware of, where you've been, the past, and where you've been. We have the Hermit card with the Moon as the two major arcana that come out. So Virgo and Pisces polarity might be significant in your chart if you have oppositions in those signs. What we're letting go of, because this shadow came out in the reverse, which means we're working on being solution oriented. Okay, the upright of the light side of the card. But the shadow in the reverse is mental prisons, unwilling to save themselves, and trauma bonds. So you've already been there. You've already been there, done that, right? This whole teaching thing, you've already been there. You've gone through a process, what you're coming out of, right? You've gone through a process of deep inner reflection, shining light in your own dark places, and letting go of situations and or people that you felt mentally trapped with, right? That you would think about them too often for your own liking, you know, to the point where you would probably get frustrated with your own self, you know, trying to teach people that were unwilling to save themselves. And so you yourself were in that energy, right? Whenever we're focusing on healing someone else, we're not focusing on healing ourselves. And so you are coming from a place of release, right? Releasing the mental prisons, no longer willing to establish relationships connected to trauma bonds, right? You're like, I'm not interested, right? If it's got trauma written all over it, I'm not interested, you know? And so where you are is maybe learning about how you've prolonged certain dynamic shifts that you probably could have ended a long time ago, right? You didn't have to stick around nearly as long as you did. In fact, you stuck around to help someone, quote unquote, right? Help someone or teach someone. But they, after all that time and energy, they might not have learned the lesson. You know, so how many times are you going to go through these processes where, you know, you try, right? We all know how I feel about that word trying here on the channel. It's do or do not. There is no try. Trying to help someone to no avail, and then just feeling like your time and your energy and your love and your thoughtfulness has been wasted. You know, and we get addicted to these cycles. That's what we need to be made aware of. Okay. So the energy working in your favor, or the energy above you, we've got the heart chakra, major arcana, with the 3 of Cups, and the shadow lost in the reverse, which means you're working on your authenticity, right? The upright of the light side of the card. So you are no longer, and you're very consciously aware of this, right? Because it's the energy above you. You are no longer allowing third-party energy to steer you in a different direction, right? You're unwilling to deal with trauma bonds. Your heart is healing, right? Your heart chakra is opening. You're starting to resonate more with self-love, healthy boundaries, being honest and vulnerable with yourself about the situation, and tuning into your feelings about people. You know, when you take the labels away, when you take the teacher facet of it all away, what are your feelings? And I think that this energy being in the above position, you're learning how to detach. I'll say you're more thriving in detaching from emotional distractions. I think you're more tuned in with yourself. The underlying energy, we have the Queen of Wands with the Nine of Cups and the light of relationship oriented. So the energy below you, underneath the surface, that is working in your favor, because these are all very positive cards. You manifest happiness. That's what you do. You being in a pink heart chakra card, you really are a healthy person, a healthy energy to be around. And it really would benefit people if they listened to your teachings, right? If they actually listened, it would probably serve them well, you know? But people have to be willing students. They have to be willing to learn. They have to be willing to apply the knowledge and the wisdom that they're gaining. So the energy below the surface, I think that you are a manifester of dreams. You know, this is something that you desire for everyone. You want the best for everyone. You don't wish ill on people, like even those that hurt you or don't listen or, you know, do what they do. Like, I feel like you have a very magical presence about you. And you really do want the best for everyone. And I think that's a beautiful part of you. I think now you're learning how to use it selectively for people who actually want to learn, though. You know, instead of just choosing a student, it's like the student has to come to you and seek you out, you know, and that's a task in and of itself, because if you're a natural healer, right, if you're like a natural starseed or someone who is naturally, you know, really empathic and intuitive, you might tend to choose students of your own accord, because you know how valuable it would be for them to learn from you and to take what you're saying to heart and change their life. But unless the student comes to you and chooses you, I think that you might find yourself in a repetitive failing, quote unquote, right? A continuous waste of time and energy, because they're not willing to learn it. They might not be willing to learn it for years, you know? So being selective with who you teach, because they choose you, not the other way around, right? So where we are in the near future, we have the Chariot with the Ten of Wands and Disenchanted in the reverse, which means we're working on visionary in the upright, right? We're working on our third eye chakra and trusting that what we envision comes about when we act on our divine alignment in the moment, which might mean moving away from heavy energy, right? The Ten of Wands is spiritually heavy. It's like carrying the crosses of other people, right? This is their weakness. Let me be their strength. It's that kind of energy. I think that in order to prevent yourself from hitting disenchanted energy, you're leaning more into trust that if you allow yourself to be divinely led, right? The chariot is divine intervention. It is intuitive. It's Cancerian energy. When you listen to your emotions, when you listen to your feelings, which is what you were working on, right? It's what you were working on when you listen to your feelings. That heart chakra energy. And you follow your joy and allow what feels good to guide you. Anybody that you're teaching that's not listening doesn't feel good. So I think if you become consciously aware of that and move forward, you'll actually prevent feeling disenchanted. You'll allow the visionary energy to take hold and allow the universe to do what it does. The divine works in the realm of miracles. And sometimes we don't necessarily see the way to healing for someone because we're literally in the way of it. You know, when we're trying to figure it out, the divine is saying, like, don't you know I've already figured it out? Matter of fact, you moving out of the way and taking the crutch away, or taking, you know, the reprimanding, the spiritual reprimanding away, this teacher role allows the divine to teach through experience. Like, some people have to learn, like, they can't behave that way. They can't just take energy and not give back. They can't just say whatever they want to keep people around and expect someone not to be hurt or not care if someone's hurt. You know, we all have those people that keep us on back burners. It was actually a topic that came up today. I was talking to Tanya earlier. It came up today. You know, people keep people on the back burner friends, back burner partners. You know, it's not like there's not a romantic connection there, right? Because we were talking about the charm that came out, you know, the red chained heart, the yin energy. Sometimes we care so deeply for someone and we want them so badly to heal and be happy and celebrate in that happiness with them that we lose sight of just how heavy it is when we let ourselves feel it. You know, sometimes getting out of the way is the best thing that you can do. You know, saying, no, I don't deserve to be a back burner option. I don't deserve to be a spiritual teacher or a healer or a partner or someone present when you need a quick bump of energy, you know, a quick high alignment bump of energy, and then you just discard it and go back down into your low places and your low choice actions. You know, I think that when we allow people to just stay in their lower vibrations without getting that higher energy bump, they don't want to stay down there. They don't want to stay down there. Like that high energy bump that we get from people who are connected, that remind us that we're loved, that remind us that we're good the way we are, you know, that don't judge us and hold space for us and hold compassion for us when we're so distracted with other shit. You know, we lean into those people when we need them, but then as soon as we're done needing them and we get that high energy, you know, from them, we can keep going inside the low energy. You know, it's a real sustainer. It's a real sustainer. And sometimes you have to take that away. Sometimes people have to go through their low energy and choose to get out of it permanently because there is nobody there telling them that they're loved, even if their behavior is not lovable. You know, being ghosted doesn't feel good. Being on the back burner while they choose a bunch of other people doesn't feel good, especially when you love them and care about them and want to see the best for them. It sucks for the high energy person. And over time, that siphoning of energy will actually hurt a high energy person. So, you know, if you are working on yourself and you're letting go of trauma bonds and you're facing the reality that you're addicted to teaching, you know, these people that really do need to be taught but aren't ready to be taught, that you really do have that high energy, relationship oriented, wish fulfilling magic within yourself, and that you yourself are not lost, that you are joy oriented and do wish the best for everybody. I think you have to allow yourself, especially because it's double down. We have the moving on card with the star and joy oriented. It came out in the reverse, which means we're letting go of guilt. We're letting go of guilt. Okay. But we're working on being joy-oriented and focusing on our happiness as opposed to the happiness of other people. So once we accept the fact, right, that the divine needs us to move forward, the divine needs us to step out of our teacher role and let it be the teacher, right? Let the divine be the teacher, let ourselves be the student and learn something new and get out of these, you know, shadow cycles that we are addicted to, you know, to let the divine really step in. When we move forward, because the teacher role is not fulfilling, especially when the students haven't seeked you out personally and said, I need your help, you know, that I'm ready to heal. Like, I'm really ready for this. I'm ready for the change. Please, you know, guide me. I think that until those moments come, when people ask for solid advice and take it, I think until those moments come, you really do have to move forward and focus on your own joy. And you can't feel guilty for doing that. Like, everybody makes their own choices in life. People can choose to heal and people can choose to stagnate. They can choose to learn or they can choose to ignore. And we have all those same choices. You know, we can choose to learn or we could choose to ignore. We can choose to heal or we can choose to stagnate. You know, we have all those same choices. So if we allow ourselves to focus on our own joy, it's new. It's new. We're not used to focusing on our own joy, right? We're used to focusing on helping other people and trying to heal other people and getting them to a place of joy. And we connect that, you know, their success, right, in our minds to our ability to feel good, because if they don't succeed, we feel like shit. And that sucks. That's a painful shadow cycle to be addicted to, right? We don't want to feel like that. We don't want to feel like that. We have to be able to focus on our own joy. And when you succeed in your own joy and people see you succeed in your own joy, that's when they're like, how did you do that? Teach me. How did you do that? You're so happy. You're so stable. You're so in love with life. Like, you actually look forward to waking up every day. Like, how do you do that? How is life not drudgery? Teach me. You focusing on yourself and your own joy is actually what ends up inspiring people to be taught further down the line, right? Yeah, or they're fucking bothered by it. And if that's the case, it's a good thing you walked away, because they would just continue to rain on your fucking parade. And that's exactly where we go to next, believe it or not, Risa, because we've got choose your battles. Choose your battles with the Knight of Cups and Dream Waster in the reverse, which means people are working on being a dream achiever. You're choosing your battles. As soon as you try and walk away, as soon as you try and focus on your joy, yeah, some people are fucking dicks about it. They try and drag you right back down. Like, what do you mean you're prioritizing yourself? What do you mean you're too busy to hear me or call me or talk to me or see me? What do you mean? And it's because you don't want to heal, my darling. You know, like, I love you and I care about you. I wish you the absolute best in whatever it is you're looking to find. I hope you find it. But I'm not trying to waste my dreams, wasting my energy trying to teach you when you don't actually want to learn. How many times have I given you advice and you just didn't fucking take it? How many times have I given you advice and you didn't even say thank you to me for being there for you? I could have spent that hour, that half hour, that 2 hours, that 5 hours doing anything else. And I spent it with you, for you, to help you and be there for you. And you did what with it? The exact opposite? You're wasting my time. You're wasting the time that I could be using to achieve my own dreams. Like, I love you, but you waste good energy. Look at the people that you waste your good energy with. Like, you don't even say thank you. I appreciate you talking to me. Like, you don't even show gratitude. You think you're entitled to my energy? Like, what is it? You know, like, this is a choose your battles. Some people will try and drag you right into their mess, and you got to release it with love. The Knight of Cups, like, I love you. I love you and I care about you, but I'm not going to waste my time and my energy. You can waste yours if you want. I'm not telling you what to do, but you ain't going to do it to me. Like, respectfully, you got some shit to work on, you know? And the sociopaths are going to get hurt. We've got sociopathic as the shadow with the 3 of Swords and coming together with the 2 of Cups. These are soulmates that are in pain states and they don't care. They have no guilt or remorse about using someone's energy. They do feel entitled to people's energy. They do. Yeah. They feel entitled. They're in a pain state and they want people to love them because they don't feel lovable. And instead of working on themselves, they siphon it off of other people. Instead of pulling their own energy up and getting into their own high alignment, they siphon it off other people and then get pissed off. And then get pissed off when those people start to draw healthy boundaries because coming together with them is painful. Coming together with them is painful. People have to learn. People have to learn. You cannot treat good people like they are discardable. You cannot waste people's time. You cannot do that. It is spiritually unfit. There's karma for that shit. There's karma. And damn if you, the watcher, are going to be the one to pay it, because the karma would be yours to pay if you continue to let them siphon off your energy. Because they'll continue to benefit. They'll continue to benefit off your good energy until they've drained you to the point that you're actually resentful. You know, where you are disenchanted. You know, this whole way you're battling shadows. This whole way. And you're winning out in the end, because at the end of the day, challenging times comes out with the 4 of Cups and condescending. If people miss opportunities to heal because they have their guard up and they don't respect where you're at and they talk to you like you don't know what you're talking about, or why would they respect you and listen to your advice? Well, then why would you ask me for it? Why would you even call me then? You know, it's like people will talk down to you like you don't know shit about them. You don't know shit about their life. How could I take your advice? Well, it's like, well, if you're only telling me half truths and half lies and, you know, whatever, and you're omitting things, yeah, I guess you wouldn't be able to take my advice, because you know there's things I don't know, which is a common trait for people who are sociopathic. They leave a lot of things out. So they might want the sympathy. They might want the reminder that they're not a bad person. They might want the love hit, the compassion hit, the sympathy for playing the victim card. But at the end of the day, like, they can't even take your good advice because they can't tell you the truth. How could you give them advice that they could take if they're not telling you the truth? They're literally wasting your time. If they can't be honest with you, they're going to listen to your great advice and be like, yeah, but I can't take it because they don't know this about the situation. They don't know this about me. They don't know that I want this and this is my motive. You know what I mean? Like, don't waste your fucking time. Don't waste your time. If people have their guard up and they're missing opportunities to heal and be loved because, you know, they think that they know better. They think they can get a little bit of advice from this person, a little bit of advice from this person, a little bit of advice from this person, and make them all feel bad for them, and then put all that advice together and come up with some crackpot cook's idea solution to their issue when they're still omitting things and hiding things and secreting things and feeling things. And, you know, they're determined but insecure. Right? I told you that was quite a concoction of energy. They're determined, but they're insecure. They don't trust themselves, and they're getting all this information from people, but they're not even secure in telling them the whole story. They're not even open about how they really feel. Like, that sounds like a bunch of fucking noise and nonsense, you know? And this is the truth key of it all. You know, the reason for the outcome, the reason why they're in pain, the reason why the coming together is broken. The reason why the coming together is broken is because they think they know better than you do. And they're missing opportunities to grow. They're keeping up their guard. It's not your fault. And I think ultimately, if you're catching this message, that's what you need to remember. It's not your fault. It ends up the way it ends up with them because they choose it. They choose it. They choose to lie and omit. They choose to play the victim. They choose their own trauma bonds and are addicted to their own cycles. You're a healer. If people were to listen to you, truly, they would be much better off. This is who you are underneath. You're the 9 of Cups. You're the harmony, the relationship-oriented magic. That's who you are. And you're not getting lost in these energies anymore. It doesn't serve you, your life, the people that you love and care about, that do look up to you and are inspired by you in life. Because for every single person that ignores your beauty, that ignores your spiritual light, there is someone you don't even know who's watching and healing and being inspired by you and your actions and your choices. And you're teaching and you don't even know you're teaching because they chose to be inspired by you. They chose to look up to you. They chose to admire you. And they might not be coming to you for advice, but they're observing your choices. They're observing the healthy boundaries that you draw. They're observing the way you communicate with love, even in the face of fucking assholes and bitches and shit. You inspire people you don't even realize you're inspiring. With your beautiful energy. You don't have to seek out your students. Your students will seek you out. All you have to do is focus on your joy. All you have to do is focus on your alignment and let the students choose you. You'll save yourself a whole lot of fucking shadow. You'll save yourself a whole lot of disenchantment. You'll save yourself a whole lot of regret. You won't waste your fucking lifetime here. You won't waste it. This is a revelation. Woo-hoo, and the Wheel of Fortune's under that. And the Sun is under that. Wow. 4 major arcana. The revelation with the Tower is about your ability to choose. That is your masculine energy. That's your yang. That's your light. That's your sun. That's your fortune here. That's your blessing and your abundance. Your ability to choose. The revelation of your power. That you can welcome people in your life and cut people out of your life as necessary. Not because you wanted to, but because you had to. You had to. Nobody wants to cut off people. It's never fun. It's never fun. But if you've got people who are heavy on your energy, if you've got people who you feel the need to fucking heal from, that you actually need to take a break and regenerate your energy from, because they've sucked all the joy out of your day. You know, you're learning how to pick your battles. You're learning how to release with love and let them deal with their own pain, because it's not your job. You as a teacher shining is to literally lead by example. That's all it is. That's all it is. And this is the revelation of your power. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can seek out students if you want. You can waste your time if you want. Or you don't have to do that at all. You can talk to 10 people today. You can talk to no people today. You can talk to one person. You can spend extra time with your pet. You can take that time you would have wasted on somebody else and pick up a new skill or a new hobby or get something done that you've been wanting to do forever. You know, your time is valuable. This lifetime is limited. So if you're going to live your best life, live your best life. Be the best kind of teacher there is, with students that seek you out because you shine that bright and they're like, God, I want to shine like that. I want to shine like that. Let's get some guidance. We're using the Crystal Mandala Oracle. Really, let the truth serve you well. Let the truth serve you well. If you were confused, right? Seven of Cups with the Nine of Wands. If you were confused, rest and reconsider what it is that you want to create, because I promise you it's joy and stability. I promise you it's joy and stability. That's what you want to create. No one wants to wake up one day and realize they've blown 20 fucking years, you know? On somebody who just didn't want to learn, wasn't ready to learn. Here we go. Yeah, storm wisdom. Did we not talk about the rainbow after the storm? Angel Raziel and Peter Sight. Card number 12. Yeah, that's right. The truth don't need no defense is right. The truth hits different, doesn't it? Card number 12. Archangel Raziel. They call him Angel Raziel, but Archangel Raziel is God's magic. It's the magic of God. He also is rumored to have been incarnated or channeled through Merlin. So, storm wisdom. It says, we bring you the gift of storm wisdom. This is the fierce, cleansing nature of divine compassion made manifest in the world. Storm wisdom thrills the spirit, for it understands that so much benefit and liberation will come from the process. Yet the mind may quake at the prospect of such little control over how your life events are unfolding for a time. What is happening during an experience of storm wisdom is that anything that has become stagnant or obstructing your spiritual growth will be uprooted. You may find that the divine storm of transformation powering through your life creates a feeling of upheaval, creative chaos, uncertainty, and excitement. You may feel simultaneously liberated and exhilarated while also wondering if everything is going to be okay. You must remember that you will only be asked to give up something in order to receive that which is far more beautiful and supportive of your sacred life journey. You must also remember that the cleansing power of the storm will revitalize you, bringing you fresh energy and perspective to take forward in your journey, and is a divine blessing which will only bring good into your life. The storms of life will never remove anything in alignment of your highest good. They will only remove what is in your highest good to be without for the time being. Yeah, and with all the crazy storms going off here, for real, storms have been nuts lately. We had hail yesterday. There's been tornadoes all over. It's been flooding. It's been crazy. I hope y'all find yourself well and safe. But through the storms of life, the spiritual storms of life, you know, Spirit will always provide what is best for your energy. That Chariot, that's divine intervention. That's divine intervention. Thank the divine for removing said person. Thank the divine for the courage to remove certain people that you know are heavy. Even if you love them. Even if you care about them deeply. even if you've known them for a long time or feel like you've known them for lifetimes. It's okay. Sometimes a few trees got to get ripped out of the ground because they've been just rooted there for so long and they're not even growing anymore. They're not even growing. And the light that is able to shine where they once stood allows for new growth. It happens. There's no need to be sad about it. It might feel crazy. It might feel like chaos. But there's blessings in it. There's blessings in it, not just for you, but for them too, because that means their healing is taking place. When you get out of the way, of someone's healing, their healing is taking place. And it's a beautiful thing. Sometimes we are not the answer. You know, our presence is not the answer. It is the lack of our presence that becomes the answer. We get so determined, right? So determined to heal people that we care about, that we forget that sometimes the best thing we can do is remove our energy. It's the best thing we could do. Yeah, it's how you reach the long term. Long-term goal-oriented is literally what Spirit just flew out when I started putting these cards away and shuffling them up. Long-term goal-oriented. You are not a failure because you didn't help somebody right now. You are not a failure because someone didn't want to learn. There's a long-term goal. Your presence was needed for the time that you were with them and the way that it was with them for a reason. And it is leaving for the same reason. For the same reason. People are so ungrateful sometimes. They're so entitled. They get so entitled to certain people's energy. When you start focusing on being healthy, when you ground yourself, when you establish your own inner roots and get real comfortable with who you are and your strength and the heights that you reach, people will seek out the shade that you create, the sanctuary of your big, magnificent, and sturdy self. You know, sometimes people just have to figure it out in a way outside of us, and that's okay. What they didn't want to hear from you, maybe they will be 100% willing to hear from someone else. And that's fine as long as they hear it. As long as they hear it. Because if you love them, it doesn't matter who teaches them, as long as they become teachable. You know? For real. Oh yeah, people's true colors show all the time. It's funny when you start to show your own colors, how the colors of other people come out. You see where they're at. And it has nothing to do with you, you know, it's just they prefer us in darker colors. Ones that are dim and are not as bright. The bright colors hurt their eyes. Eyes they're unwilling to see anyway. So yeah, you are a lucky charm, okay? You are a lucky charm. Anybody who would have you in their presence and take your advice, you are most definitely a lucky charm. If people have issues with drinking, especially because we had 2 liquor bottles come out, pray for them. Pray for them. Because people who drink and smoke and whatever, it's not necessarily bad. It's medicine, but it's soul medicine, right? People self-medicate. That's why I call it that. It's self-medicating. But they're healing from something. Anytime we use a self-medication, we're healing from something. And it's painful. And doing certain things like drinking especially distracts from the ability to actually heal it. So hold space in prayer for them, because they're not necessarily their best selves when they're under the influence of things either. They're harder to talk to. They're less likely to absorb what you're saying. They're more likely to be combative or take offense or twist your words or hear something wrong, you know. So don't beat yourself up if you yourself have a drink or smoke or do whatever you do. But know that you're healing through something. And that as much as you enjoy whatever your self-medicine is, that if you are going to do that, then you should also be taking time to seek why. To seek why. And be okay with where you are with it. You know, don't judge yourself or tell yourself you're this or you're that because you do or don't, whatever. But reflect inside yourself to see where it comes from, you know. So, yeah. Yeah. Now I have a lot of compassion for a lot of people, but I myself am a pretty bright light. And I've learned that when you shine really bright, not everybody can handle your presence for long periods of time. Sometimes people who are healing need it in small doses, and that's fine. You know, that's fine. But I don't want to be an abused dose either. You know, people are going to have to meet me at my level and raise up and find me here. You know, build up their tolerance, so to speak, of light, that they can be around it and be a part of it and not drift. I pray for a lot of people. I pray for a lot of people. And I appreciate my soul family. Like, you guys, y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea how loved y'all are. Every time I pop on these lives and do these videos and you guys show up with your presence and your own lights, it's beautiful for me to witness the connection, you know. So thank you. Thank you for being a beautiful light in my life. I appreciate y'all very much. And I have faith that this truth key will serve you well moving forward. And at the very least, that you don't feel so guilty or judge yourself so harshly for learning how to be a different kind of teacher. Sometimes we teach with our light and sometimes we teach with the absence of light. What would the beauty of the night be if we weren't experiencing the absence of the sun? Right? The night is just as beautiful. So let people go through their dark nights. All right. Much love to you guys. And I will see you next time. Take care, everyone. Yeah, I love you too, Risa. I just caught your comment. I love you too. I will see you guys more than likely sooner than later. And I'll get all the timestamps in so you guys can flash back and hop, skip, and jump around. All right, you guys have a wonderful night. Bye, everyone.